Has peak social media finally arrived? Let's hope so. Hello, this is ChartGPT today. Ask this question: has peak social media finally arrived? Before we get into that, let's take a look at internet usage around the world. We'll zero in on a couple countries here. But these charts are a little bit hard to read on the video. You might have to slow the video down and stop it if you want to read the details of define your specific country here. But the question here is, internet use is exceedingly common worldwide, but not everyone is online. The top country is South Korea. Only 1% are not online. U.S. about 5%. Some countries of note, when you get down further on the list, Japan, which is kind of unusual. Only 11% don't use the internet. That's quite interesting. And of course in Africa the penetration is a bit lower, but at the very bottom is India, which is interesting. Younger adults more likely than elders to use the internet. The difference there, India is again at the bottom of the list. Of course this is on the top. And you go down there, South Korea wins that race again. Pretty much adults are more education, are more likely to use the internet. Again, India at the bottom, and Sweden wins this race. And of course that pretty much aligns with the other data there. A lot of people use the internet over the smartphones now, and you can see the internet penetrations. Majority of people that own smartphones in most countries. The winner once again is South Korea. The U.S. is down around 2% that use no phone, so it's high penetration. And again at the bottom of that is India and a few African countries down there. So it kind of melds into the other data we have. Those with more education are more likely to own a smartphone. Of course that's been true, and again we back up to India in the top, and South Korea and Sweden are at the bottom of the list, which is obviously inverted. Smartphone ownership is highest among wealthy nations, U.S. being up at the top, Singapore being close to the winner on this one. So that's interesting there. And of course it kind of spills out as we've described before. Getting into the social media question here, younger people are more likely to use social media in most countries surveyed. Some of the divergence countries at the top here are Poland, Germany, Indonesia, Hungary, and India. Believe it or not, UK is also a wide one there. So that's interesting there. You can see the map there. Social media use is the highest in Latin America and most of Asian Pacific. Not so much as people think in the European and the U.S. side, so to speak. Of course, what's not on that list with China, of course China's numbers are always kind of dubious. China hit 1.5 billion users in June 2022, with 99.6% of them being cell phone users. So there you go. They're up around 87% penetration. So China is a very much connected world. Even though their social media may be highly controlled, they're still online. Getting deeper down into the U.S. side of this, here is the data coming out for August 2023 based on share of visit. Facebook is still the winner. Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter, YouTube, and Reddit is the following there. So Facebook is still the winner. Does anybody still use Facebook? That's kind of interesting here. Of course, actual user base, YouTube is the winner, Facebook is second, and it goes down from there. A third of U.S. adults say they use TikTok, up from 21%. So TikTok is coming online here. The youngest U.S. adults are far more likely to use Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. Age difference is less pronounced than Facebook. So Facebook really is the boomer. You can see is the boomer application, and Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok you can see are used by the youth. Some of these other odds and ends are different, but YouTube is also more of an adult, shall we say, in the ages 60 or greater there. So that's an interesting point there. So that's the usage of social media. So here's the chart that kind of got me interested. The number of social media users in the United States from 2020 to 2029 is a projection. As you can see, it's the penetration has risen through the 2010s into 2020, and now it is basically peaking out. So when you look at all the user base, it does look like social media is peaking out, though some countries will still have a ways yet to go. Of course, with all the censorship going on, it is becoming more of a dubious platform. There's only a few internet social media companies that are a little bit more freer than others, so that's probably discouraging a lot of user base, and plus people just not into it as much as they used to be. So Maybe it is a fad that will stop having these tremendous growths that we've seen in the last 10, 15 years. In any case, check out the reference links on there. You can get some more details if the chart's too hard to read. And take our online poll. Do you find yourself using social media less as compared to a year ago? Have you personally hit peak social media? Interesting point. In the meantime, check out the post link in the description box, and don't forget to subscribe.